Earlier this year, I decided that I wanted to race in the 2025 King of the Hammers. I decided to leave the comfort of my own shop to come out here and build our race car in the desert. Behind me is a 1998 Jeep Cherokee featuring the straight six 4-liter engine. Along with that comes its legendary suspension of a factory short arm 4-link, and in the rear, leaf springs. I've decided that I want to build it on the lake bed because the class we're entering in actually lets us modify hardly anything at all. Aside from safety, we have to keep original style suspension. So that means leaf springs have to stay leaf springs. 4-link has to stay 4-link or 3-link. You could subtract pieces. With all the aftermarket stuff available out there that you can throw at these things, I figured, why not do it on the lake bed? With the green flag being dropped less than a month away, we need to get started on this. So next, let me show you where we're building it. This here is our 20x40 temporary shop, okay? Temporary. Aside from having a full set of hand tools, we also have plasma cutters, welders, torches, and this Challenger lift. Over here is our supply tent where we keep all of our tools and parts that we're going to be using to build the race car. And not far off is my humble abode. It looks disgusting right now. In case I haven't mentioned where we are yet, we're in Johnson Valley, California, and behind me, and less than a month away, is going to be filled with 200,000 people. So without further ado, let's get the Jeep pulled into the shop, start working. All right, so to clear the air on what we're actually building, we're going to be taking this Jeep and turning it into this Jeep. All right, Ultra 4, that's the race series that we're a part of. 4600 is the class that we're entering. That is the stock class. It's basically the class that most resembles a car that you would see driving on the road. I mean, I'm not saying they do resemble it, but theoretically, they're street legal. And then obviously we're building a Jeep Cherokee. Some of the things that we have to do while we're in the desert. Cage, nice and simple. Frame stiffeners, doesn't look right. But front and rear suspension. There we go. Fuel system. Oh, axle swap. Bumpers. That's a rough list, okay, of everything that we have to do. And this is gonna be broken down quite a bit more. If you have any questions about what we're doing to the car or any of the rules that you might be concerned about, let me know. I'll try to answer them in the comments. And I think it's time to get to work. So we got the Jeep on the lift. Next thing is cleaning the frame rails, the frame rails for these frame stiffeners. If you don't know, the reason we have to do this is because the Jeep Cherokee is unibody, which means it technically doesn't have a frame or has a uniframe. So if you look under here, this is the floor. Like, this is literally one piece. So we need to stiffen that because it's not nearly thick enough to withstand the abuse that we're planning on putting on it while we race. So we got these from Rough Stuff over here. They hug two sides of that frame there. Basically, we're sheeting the whole structure of this vehicle. Well, as soon as those are on and we tie in with the rest of the cage and everything should be pretty solid and not want to move. There's one thing you gotta know about welding to Cherokees. It's the worst metal to weld to, ever. That's why I'm making Zach do it.
Surprise, surprise. That's funny.
Okay.
Dude, I was keeping these out of the dirt.
It's not like the dirt.
Now they're covered in dirt.
This goes right here, like so. You're probably gonna wanna pull this off first, these off, and then start grinding. And then the other side is pretty scotch-free. All right, that's a wrap on the first day here on the lake bed. If you want daily updates on how the race Jeep is going here in Johnson Valley, we have a Patreon set up. There'll be daily uploads there on this build and some of the other stuff we do in the valleys. If this video is not enough for you, there's more there. The link is in my description. We'll see you in the morning. You may have noticed that we got these lavalier mics and everybody says, oh, they're so much better. You are correct. If you remember to plug them in. So at the beginning of today, which is the second day that we're working on the Jeep, we're stripping the interior because why not? And when we pulled the center console off, we found a suspicious baggie of white crystal-like stuff and a razor blade. And I can't help but wonder what that was. I pulled enough junk cars apart to kind of know what they do and hide in cars. So we called the previous owner, and he bought it from somebody in Colorado. And he had no idea, of course, that was in it. He bought it as a junk car. And so we disposed of that properly, probably. We went and stuffed it in a pine cone and shoved it in the fire. So it's gone forever now. But I'm not going to confirm nor deny what I think that was. But I think we all know. Anyway, crazy. Now we're running a drug race car. Drug runner, that's what we can call it. Anyway, so we're gonna continue stripping the interior. Pull the seats out, pull the carpet out, pull the dash, pull all these side panels and other things off, pull the headliner, and we'll get back to you if we find anything else. That wasn't too bad. Oh, ooh. Bro, I think you broke it.
Are we just taking like the exterior of the dash and like keeping all the framing and stuff? Because I mean, like obviously, we probably want like heater controls.
No.
You still want a heater.
We're taking the heater out.
What?
We already took the heater out.
No, we didn't.
Practically.
The heater works great.
Dude, we're not leaving the heater in.
That's a terrible idea.
No.
It's gonna get cold. I'm gonna get cold.
Wear some long johns.
No.
I promise.
Terrible.
I promise you're not going to get cold. With no insulation, but between you and the firewall, you're going to be cooking.
I feel like I'm gonna get cold.
There's not a single race car, okay? There's not a single race car out there that has a heater.
There's never been a race car that's had me in it before, though. What if I get cold?
I don't know. I'll make you get out and do some jumping jacks or something.
Ah, that's terrible. Come on, let go. That's nice.
Asbestos burrito.
Ooh, money!
You can have that, Zach. Consider it a tip. Well, we found where this Cherokee has rust. And it's not pretty over here.
No,
This whole side. That's all inside. There's not even any outside right there. Well, awesome. Well, we're not going to need those anymore. Okay, now we need to get the windshield out. It's going to go about as bad as you think it will.
Why does it kind of smell like burnt Subway?
Huh?
Kind of smells like burnt Subway.
Don't smell that. You're right, it does.
Right? It's the weirdest thing. Totally burnt Subway.
This is why that side was rusty. Push on it. It's not even sealed. Yeah.
Nice.
No. Probably wondering why I just didn't use like a Sawzall or razor blades. And that's because the windshield was already cracked. And what I found is when you heat up the edge, it like stress fractures it so you can push it out. It was broken anyway. We'll go take that to the dump. All right. Hear that? We took everything that wasn't race car and we only left the race car stuff. We still have to remove this back glass, but I'm probably going to use the Sawzall for that. But then everything else, like we got all the door panels off, all the interior glass. It's looking fast, isn't it? Okay, I won't say that.
It's not exactly what I'd call fast, but
What is what you'd call fast, Zach?
probably anything that's not a Cherokee.
You're right.
Or that has the 4 letters G-E-E-P on it.
Suzuki Samurai,
Faster than a Jeep.
Tacoma, 4-door, long bed.
Faster than a Jeep.
Anyway, so I want to try to do something with the dash up here where we retain like this half of it to keep the dash cluster there. But then the rest of this can go. And I actually need to clearance it for some of the roll cage anyway. So we just need to figure out how much of it we want to take out and what we want to do with it. And yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm distracted right now. I really, really, really want to see what the gas tank looks like in here and the seat and maybe a tire. So let's do that. Over here in our part depot. That's that. And then we can get a tire. Wow. That's nice. What? That's so much room. Okay. Ow! Sorry, I didn't see your arm there. What? Who keeps their arm there anyway? Psh. You want to move your arm?
I kind of want to know. What do you need that door for?
I'm looking, okay? I told you, we look. You're not having that much room. I can tell you right now.
Why not?
You don't need that much room.
Definitely need that much room. It should be the most comfy race car of all time. So.
I don't know what we're looking at anymore.
Yeah, I told you.
We need to stack this up higher.
Oh, wow, this is cool. All right. Now forget about it for next week.
This is how I visualize it. All right, someone sent us these awesome blades. They're called automobile dismantling. And that's exactly what we're doing. So we're going to be cutting out this rear glass. I've never done it before on a Cherokee. I've mostly just, to be honest, I've never done anything with the rear glass. So we're gonna see how this goes. Oh, that's backwards. That's not working at all. Well, that was bound to happen. It just makes cleanup kind of suck, but that's all right. Most of the glass went into the car, so when we flip end over end, you know, the glass in our eyes.
Glass don't affect me.
No?
Nope, I can take it.
All right, so I am thinking that the dash looks pretty ugly when it's naked. Like there is no, it is purely function, and it's hideous and it hurts my soul. So I think we're gonna try to find a way to retain at least the driver's side of this column and around the gauges themselves. You know, just so we can have a little confidence in ourselves when we look in the interior of this thing. I don't want it to look hokey, if you know what I mean. I'm thinking from like right here, and then I'll have to keep this base here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that's where it bolts down. Okay, let's get to it. All right, got the dash cut out. I have a little bit of a notch here to clear for a tube, but looking pretty good. As soon as that sun went down, it got cold quick, which is understandable, and I'm feeling pretty content with what we got done today. We got the whole car stripped, got the dash all put how we want it. We've got a super clear direction to head tomorrow, so with that, we'll see you then. Morning time. Okay, today, since there is no of that W word, we're going to start welding. And by start, I mean we're going to be welding all day long today. And if Zach puts in the work and welds enough, maybe we'll go into town and get pizza. I actually have to do laundry. I ran out of socks. That's right, we're not animals. We'll wash our clothes. Wear pants 4 times, and then socks, they get replaced every day. But we even got a shower last night.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I was getting nasty. Yeah.
All right, it's up now thanks to Challenger lifts, and I think we can start getting the frame stiffeners on. We got our full set of frame stiffeners from Rough Stuff Specialties, and they're pretty awesome. They cover this whole outer section of the frame, from the front bumper all the way to the back. So we're gonna work on getting these midsections on first because that's what I wanna do. The goal for today is to get most of the frame stiffeners at least tacked on, like actually all of them. That's the goal. All the frame stiffeners tacked on. You can start buzzing them in. We're probably gonna pull suspension and axles out, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think we can do it. I think we can. It's a fair goal for today.
Perfect. There it is. Fits pretty freaking stellar.
Thanks.
No problem. Got you, man. I want to know how the sand gets in my shoes.
Because they're not Nike SBs with holes in them. That's why.
Uh-huh. Okay. Whatever. It's in there pretty snug.
In reality, like how bad is welding to it? Is it like spot weld bad, or can you carry a bead?
Have you seen an active volcano?
Yeah.
It's going to be like you're welding to an erupting volcano. So it's very difficult. Sometimes you have to spot weld, and sometimes you have to lay a bead, and sometimes you just have to get out of there because you're on fire. Like you personally, because it exploded.
So
No joke. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to watch Zach burn.
what?
Wait, sorry, I meant Zach succeed. I can't wait to watch Zach succeed. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, this stinks.
All right, so Zach got most of the rough stuff frame stiffeners welded on, at least of that middle section. We still got a little bit more on the bottom, but that'll have to come later when it's off the lift. So right now we're just trying to get the axles out of the way because that's the next thing, front and rear. So I had a bit of a struggle with the leaf spring bolts back here where the bolts would stick in the leaf spring bushing, and it's not going well back here at all. So we'll get the front axle out and then we'll fight on the rear. The only thing holding this front one up is these shock bolts.
Watch your toes. Okay.
Is it coming?
No.
So when we're trying to get these suspension bolts out, almost all of the bolts are frozen in the bushing sleeves, which means the bolt won't come out. So we have to get rid of this stuff anyway, so I'm just gonna cut it off with the plasma cutter. Booyah.
Wow, that weighs a lot more than I thought.
Dirty, rotten.
Whoa, those shocks are nice.
No wonder it rode so nice.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Whew. That was rough.
Look at that. There's no way that bolt was just gonna come out. Watch. See that? That's the bushing sleeve that I was talking about. It is seized in there. See that? That sleeve was supposed to stay in the rubber bushing part, and it's frozen to the bolt. Crazy. All right, so all the other ones we managed to get apart with cutting. This front mount for the leaf springs we were gonna keep, but we're having such a hard time getting this bolt out that I'm wondering if we're gonna have to cut it out as well. That's unfortunate. But maybe with a little bit of something, we can make it work. I'm pretty sure that's it. So I'm gonna go up with everything.
Okay.
Whew. We should put the tires back on. Well, I think this is ride height. This should be high enough that we won't get high centered. It's a lot of work grinding for these rough stuff frame stiffeners.
You're a mess.
You're a mess.
Do I look that bad? Oh, I'm not as bad as you. Your face is dirty.
You're pretty filthy. Pretty dang good. Wow. Those sure do fit good. For a little bit of work to get in there, but as soon as you do, I mean, just look at that fitment. Alrighty, we got a bunch of these rough stuff frame stiffeners put on. There's a couple underneath this front rail here that we need to add. And then this one back here. And then a couple of other little miscellaneous pieces here and there. But I mean, I think almost all of them are on this side. If they're not fully welded, they're at least tacked on. So tomorrow, first thing, we're gonna get all those welded on. Probably Zach will. And then I'll get the axles underneath here and start playing with that. That's gonna be fun. I'm excited about that. So, I mean, we're moving right along. Tomorrow morning will mark the week since we've been gone. Not the week since we've been here, but a week since we've been gone from our own beds and houses and everything. And I'm out of clothes, to be honest. I did not pack enough socks. So we got to go into town, go to the laundromat, get cleaned up a little bit. I promised Zach some pizza. Let's get this thing lowered down a little bit so it's a little safer if someone decides to raid us. You know what? Come to think of it, if someone wants to come steal this stuff, I hope it falls on them.
Ka-chow.
Wow. Wow. There she is. Cool. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.